I took in my former friend's daughters after I found out he was abusing them. Their extended family tried to get in the way. I have to be careful what I say because of the people involved, but here it goes. I, 38M, had a close relationship with longtime friends T, 39F, J, 37M. They got married and had two daughters A, 10, and B, 14. T and my fiancée N, 37F, both died in a really horrible accident in 2023. After they died, I was constantly helping out with the girls. It's worth mentioning that T and I dated in high school but have been just friends since. J and I mourn together. We have always been like brothers to each other, and we both lost the women we love at the same time. It was devastating, but he was clearly having a harder time moving on than I was. He started drinking, lost his job, lost his car, couldn't pay rent, etc. We all came from serious poverty. I managed to do well for myself and pull myself out of that life. While T and J were doing okay, they weren't doing anywhere near as well and were too proud to ever accept help from me no matter how much I offered. Eventually I insisted they come stay with me. I live in a very large house with way more space than one person needs. I work from home so he'd have someone to watch the kids while he looked for work, and I'm within walking distance of both of their schools. I offered to have the three of them move in with me while he went to therapy and got his life back together. He eventually caved. All seems fine at first. Over time I started to notice a concerning shift in the girl's behavior. And it didn't just feel like the normal teenage angst. I basically raised my three younger siblings because we had a single mom working two jobs. This was something different. Without going into detail, I work in security and my home is like a fortress that includes things like blast-proof security glass on the windows, cams everywhere but the bathrooms and the girls' rooms. One day, B came to me when the house was otherwise empty and started acting very inappropriately toward me. I shut that down real quick, but that got me worried. A teenage girl acting like that toward a grown man is a red flag. I tried asking if anyone was hurting her, but she got upset with me that I even asked. A few days later B comes to me again, asking if I watched the cams. I told her only if there's an incident or something. She asked if I could get alerts if someone walked into her room. I said yes, if I set that up I could. She asked if there were cameras in her room. I told her no, of course not. B asked if I could install a hidden one. I was very concerned about these questions. She refused to explain. I agreed and waited till the house was empty and installed it. I also clipped the recording of the convo we had in my office where she asked me to install the cam. I'm sure everyone knows where this is going, but I caught Jay going into B's room and sexually assaulting her. Saying a bunch of shit about how she deserves this because he had this idea in his head that she wasn't his daughter but was secretly a result of an affair T and I had. Which absolutely didn't happen, not that it really matters, but this is what he used to justify his horrible behavior. I got the alert on my phone while I was out of the house heading to the airport for a work trip. I immediately stopped what I doing, went to the police and let them know what happened. Within a very short time he was arrested. The girls were taken by CPS to be questioned. Over the course of several weeks I was cleared of any involvement and the girls came back to staying with me while everything was being sorted out. I was given temporarily guardianship over them while everything gets figured out. The girls have a lot of extended family that are now trying to get custody. But their entire extended family comes from the same impoverished world I clawed my way out of. Most of them are absolutely unhinged. They all live in shitty neighborhoods, lack resources. Just overall not the best environment for the girls. I try not to be too judgmental cause I came from that same life. No matter how well I'm doing I try not to hold it over anyone. The girls' lives and future is what matters to me the most here though. The girls have both made it very clear to me they feel safe with me and don't want to live with any of their family. A couple months ago the whole family showed up at my house to argue why I needed to give up the girls. Using excuses like I'm not family, I'm creepy, it's strange how I'm trying to protect them, I won't let the girls see them. Eventually some racial slur got thrown, I'm mixed race, they're all white. Of course all of this was caught on camera. Threats started to get thrown around. I shot all that bullshit down and one of my neighbors called the police. The cops showed up and made everyone leave. They refused to do anything about the threats at that point, but honestly I wasn't shocked. Later on the police show up in full kit saying I'm holding two girls hostage. Turns out the family called them to report as much. They tried to break down my door, which wasn't going to happen, cause again, this place is a fortress. It damaged the frame of the door though, which I now have to repair. All that was eventually cleared up, which is a long story in itself. Later that night one of the girls' uncles tried to break in, he couldn't manage to get through the security windows and long story short, weapons were involved and he ended up being hauled away cuffed in an ambulance with a hole in his leg. Since then I realized I love these girls like they're my own. The realization happened when I was making dinner and they accidentally called me dad and I choked up a bit. That was the moment I decided I wanted to adopt them both. I asked the girls if they would be okay with that. And they were both excited by the idea. Their CPS caseworker is on my side. By pure luck we knew each other from high school. All the evidence I have from the family's harassment, phone calls, video, audio, police reports, all of it, makes them all out to be unhinged. So what do? These people are getting everyone I've known and grown up with involved. They've created an absolute mess of false anonymous reports to anyone who will listen that I am preying on the girls. So many reports were filled that a huge investigation got launched. I had to take them out of their schools and enroll them in private schools some distance away so that their family won't know where they're at. There were 2 different incidents of their family trying to grab them off the street. It's gotten so bad that I had to have one of my employees come on as additional armed security to protect the girls from their own family. I'm doing everything I can to be strong for the girls, to be there for them and give them the best life I can. But damn it, this is wearing on me. I didn't exactly have the best family life growing up myself, and I'm trying to give A and B the best life I can. Cut to another court hearing, and the family pulled enough money together to hire a lawyer to argue the idea that I am unfit to care for the girls because 1. I'm not family, and they already have biological family that wants them. 2. My home is a death trap, even though CPS did their home inspection and agreed that I exceed literally every metric of home safety on their list. I even had the girls show that they can get through every security measure and escape the house in the event of a fire or something. 3. That I have an arsenal in my home. Even my weapon storage exceeded the requirements for what's expected for foster care in my state by a massive margin. Every weapon is registered and the girls absolutely can't get to them no matter how hard they tried. For I have a history of violence. Yet I've never once been in trouble with the law since I was 16, and all of my violence has been related to my work in security and now having to protect the girls from their own damn family. I managed to get the girls temporary protection orders from the more intense members of their own extended family. B feels the pressure of this the most though, and I can tell she's feeling it. She wants to have a normal teenager life where she can be on social media and go places with friends. But she can't because she needs to have a security guard with her. She can't be on social media because of her family's harassment. Somehow, they managed to get a judge to listen enough to start up a whole new investigation. New caseworker, new inspections, more interviews. I'm mostly worried about B. Even though she's in therapy, I feel like having to talk to all these people over and over again isn't helping. I just want it to all be over with and for the adoption to finish and these people to go away. I've hired the best lawyers I can, and I know there's no way in hell their family will come out on top. This past Friday, it's all finally over. I'm legally their father. The entire extended family has an order of protection filled against them, barring them from all contact. And finally I can breathe. We're going to celebrate with a big trip once the girls agree on where they want to go. Edit, rereading this I realize that a lot of this seems a little all over the place, especially at the end. This has been an effort to collect my thoughts from notes I took while dealing with this over the last year.